If you're a heat and air conditioning technician or even a salesperson, should you use fake names for your products and services so people can't shop them? And why does this matter? This is a fantastic question. I'm Scott Sylvan Bell, coming to you live for HVAC Technician Sales Secrets on a perfect day to talk about sales and business and a fantastic day to talk about you. We're talking about pricing and pricing strategies. Okay, so there's going to be a point where you say, hey, I know through a diagnosis that there is something on this list that needs to get taken care of, like a capacitor, like a contactor, like a fan motor. But I know that the type of person that I'm meeting with is going to go to a website like Amazon or eBay and try to find this project or this piece and put it in themselves. So should I tell them what it is? Like, who cares? Like, why do you get caught up in this? This doesn't matter, right? Sometimes there's people on your list or your client. Sometimes there's people that are not. You don't know that person's financial situation, and some people just like working on stuff. They just didn't know how to diagnose it. Now, I will share with you, there's been plenty of times where I went back to equipment where somebody fried a circuit board because they were putting in a thermostat and they did it wrong, or they put a contactor in and they put the low voltage on the high voltage and the high voltage on the low voltage and let the blue genie out, right? It doesn't matter. If they paid for a diagnostic fee, if they paid for you to come out, give them the service, tell them what's going on. Don't withhold information. Don't fake names, right? That's a shady thing to do in my mind. Now you may go, hey Scott, this happens a lot in my community where people go through and they make the repairs themselves. Who cares? They had you out there. Make sure to slap your sticker on the side. Make sure that you do what you can to get that person signed up for a service or for a club or for a partner program. Whatever you call it, okay? And whatever that name is for that project where you come out twice a year or 3 times a year, sign them up. And you go, hey Scott, but every time we go out there, they want to do the work on their own. I say, yeah, so what? So what? Why do you care? You know what? I talked to a friend that's a car mechanic and he's like, hey Scott, this is normal in our industry. We just, whatever. Like, there's other things that you should really worry about. Making up the name of a part, like a high voltage on and off switch for a contactor or an energy discharge unit for a capacitor, makes no sense. And this right here is why you should join HVACTechSecrets.com. I'll give you the goods. Not in the Facebook group, not in the YouTube channel. So think about this. If you went to the dentist and you're like, hey, I don't really think that I need a crown at this point, and I know that a crown is like $2,000 or $3,000, and you go to the dentist and they're like, porcelain chewing interrogative unit. And you're like, what the hell is a porcelain interrogative chewing unit? I don't know what this thing is. So you're like, hey, I'm just going to get a second opinion and I'm going to go talk to somebody else. And they say, I've never heard of a chewing interrogative porcelain unit. What the heck? What the? Like, doctors don't do this. They tell you like, hey, here's what the problem is. Here's what's going on. Here's your solution. Being way up front is always better than trying to be like, well, I'm gonna hide stuff. I am not gonna tell people what's gonna go on. Look, people are either your client or they're not your client. And if they're not your client, just move on with your life. I see too many technicians get caught up in this. I see too many salespeople get caught up in like, well, if I leave them the information, they're just gonna shop it. They were never gonna do business with you anyway. Who cares? Move on with your life, right? Who cares? Do you really want that person as a client? I don't know. Maybe you do. Maybe you don't. They may be ethical. They may not be. But at the end of the day, here's the thing. If you document and you say, here's what the problem is, here's what's going on, they may very well call you back. They might go out and they might shop that. You might have given them the EBGBs. You might have freaked them out. You might have smelled bad. You might have had something in your teeth that day. We all have bad days. There's a whole list of people who don't like me. So like coming from somebody who's like, Scott, are there people out there that don't like you? Oh yeah, there's a very long list of people who don't like me. I promise you, I made a lot of mistakes as a technician. I made a lot of mistakes when I was a comfort advisor. So be aware. Somebody says, hey, I want to get a second opinion. Let them get a second opinion. Somebody says, hey, tell me what the part is so I can go buy it on my own. Tell them what the part is. Just say, hey, shut the equipment down before you do it. Like a fan blade spin really fast and you may end up with like a couple less fingers. Or, make sure to turn the power off so you don't electrocute yourself. Here's the thing. This is the one thing that I would not do because of liability issues. So like I will share with you, hey, thanks for sticking around. There's one thing that I wouldn't do. There was times where people would say, hey, can you show me how to put this part in? And I would have to say, I have to decline because I don't know your technical skills. It's not that I don't want to. I have to say, hey, if I tell you how to discharge this capacitor, or if I tell you how to change this fan motor and you hook it up wrong and you get hurt, the first person when they talk to the attorney is going to be, who showed you how to do that? They're going to point at me and they're going to say, what are your qualifications to teach somebody how to do this? And you weren't around to do it. So people ask me a lot when I say tech, hey, can I do this on my own? Probably, if you got pretty good technical skills. I mean, if you worked with electrical before. Yeah, I've done it before. And there was times where people call me back and like, hey, I tried to do this outdoor fan motor. You guys make it look so easy. Can you just come out and put it in? This happens to plumbers all the time, by the way. Plumbers have a price book like, oh, you want to have your own faucet? $200 for us to put it in. Oh, you have your own toilet? $400 for us to put it in. Oh, like, you can't get caught up in this. Just be aware. Sometimes you get the job, sometimes you don't. It's okay. You will be okay, right? There's plenty of business out there. You got 1 of 3 things to do from there. Just 1 of 3. Find the subscribe button, click on it every time I send out a video. You'll get an update. 2, hit follow. 3, you know what you got to do. Share this video with a friend. We'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.